So you decided to go to law school, and now you're there and you have absolutely no idea what to do. Don't worry, your girl got you. I took the liberty of speaking to some of my quite successful colleagues and finding out what they did in law school to help them be successful and what they wish they would have known. I'm going to be sharing some of that information in this video. That's right, your girl is dropping the jewels. Clink, clink, clink. So, if you want to know how you can create a foundation for your success both in law school and thereafter, keep watching. Hey BGLWs, it's your girl Shanae, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 9 tips to help you successfully navigate your time in law school. Now, whether you're a 1L or a 3L, you've likely heard at least once that you should treat law school like it's a full-time job. But what does that mean? Certainly, it's more than just blocking off your schedule from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and studying all day. I mean, if you're a 1L, you're going to have to do quite a bit of studying, but there's so much more to law school than just that. So I ain't going to hold you. I know you don't have all day. Let's get right on into these tips. Tip numero uno, always be prepared and do the work. Whether it's class, a meeting, or a discussion, you want to thoroughly and critically read the material ahead of time and write any talking points or questions so that you can actively engage in the discussion. Participation is one of the key ways to not only understand information, but to also retain it. Likewise, you're going to want to do your own outlines, your own case briefs, and read every single case that is assigned. I know it can be time consuming, but the benefits far outweigh the pain that you'll experience by spending 2 or 3 hours doing the work. When you do your own outline, you give yourself an opportunity to figure out what it is that you still don't understand or you still don't know. And when you do your own case briefs, you give yourself an opportunity to not only know the law, but the actual set of facts that the law applies to. This is going to be crucial during exam season because you will likely have at least one professor that has at least one question on their exam that is based on a fact pattern from a case that was assigned. So read every case, do the case briefs, do the outlines, prepare for class. Just do the work. Tip number 2, take heed to what your professors say. You should definitely meet with each of your professors at least once during the semester. And if the opportunity is available, you may want to take a practice question or a practice exam to them after you've completed it. But ultimately, you want to pay special attention to any advice they give, any feedback they give you, and any information that they emphasize or reiterate, be it in class or a one-on-one session. Your professor is the individual that not only has an expertise in the area of law that they are teaching, but they are the ones that's actually making the exam you're going to take. So you want to pay special attention to things that they're emphasizing because 9 times out of 10, they're doing it because they know it's going to be on the exam. So pay attention and take heed to what they say. Speaking of exams, yes, law school exams are a different kind of beast, but at the same time, it's not that deep. I mean, if you really think about it, the exams you did in college were different than the exams you did in high school, and the exams you did in high school were different than the exams you did in elementary school. It's not your first time taking a different kind of exam. Yes, you are going to have to change your approach and adapt a new style of studying, but don't psych yourself out before you even sit for the exam. I mean, if you've been studying, reading every case, doing the outlines, and meeting with your professor,
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
You should be good. But at the very least, one thing you know for certain is if you spend all your time panicking and thinking about what you don't want to happen, i.e. failure, you won't be spending any time grinding and achieving exactly what you do want to happen, and therefore bring about exactly what you don't want to happen. Hashtag law of attraction. So Do whatever you need to do during exam season to keep your cool, whether that means running, watching a movie, playing with puppies, studying in a different location. Just make sure that you keep your zen so you can walk into the exam feeling confident and walk out feeling like, yes, I did that. Even if you find out a month later that you didn't. But don't worry, that's another video for another day. Been there, done that, and still came out with a degree. Just make sure you keep your cool. Tip number 4, make sure that you establish a school life balance early on. Yes, law school will require a lot of your time, attention, and dedication. But at the end of the day, it is only 3 to 4 years of your life. You will have a life after law school. And the last thing you want to do is find yourself in a position where you've isolated yourself from everything and everyone outside of law school. Law schools will almost always be there, but your loved ones, that's not a guarantee. So make sure that you're taking time out to cultivate and nurture the relationships that you have with your friends and family members and individuals outside of the legal field. Likewise, it is vitally important that you make time for yourself. The legal field is one of the professions with the top rates of mental health issues. It is extremely important that you find time to make sure that you are good physically, mentally, and emotionally. Honestly, you won't be able to perform and be successful academically if all those other things are falling apart. You need to make sure that you are making your self-care and your mental health a priority. Tip number 5, make use of all of your resources, not just your professor, but actually your dean of academics, your financial aid department, local organizations, and associations. Make sure that you are finding out as much information as possible about all of the tools and resources available to you to help you have a good time in law school. This is especially true for bar associations. When you finish law school, you're likely going to join a local bar association. By forming a relationship with them early on while you're still a student, it gives you an opportunity to begin building that network and relationship so that you have an easier time transitioning into the professional life and moving up the ranks within that bar. It also gives you a pool of mentors to choose from. And bar associations usually have a lot of information about scholarships that are available, and they usually have at least one scholarship that they offer themselves. Unfortunately, in general, but fortunately for you, most law students aren't taking advantage of their relationships with bar associations, and so the applicants are very low for those scholarships. Free money, free money. Free money. Take advantage of that. I mean, I can't really say anything more about it. So get in touch with your local bar associations, either in the area that your law school is in or even within your hometown if you plan to return there, and make sure you begin cultivating those relationships. Again, just make the most of every resource you have available to you. Tip number 6, don't be afraid to say, I need help. If the explanation on the whiteboard is not making sense to you, go to your professor and say, listen, I'm gonna need you to explain this just a little bit further. If you are walking around all day just anxiety ridden, panicking about everything, that's not normal, sis. Go to counseling services and tell them, I need some help. And if you feel like your home life responsibilities are just getting to be too much to bear, sit your support system down and say, listen, I'm going to need some help. Whatever the issue is, don't be ashamed of your struggle. There are billions of people in this world. You are not the first person to go to law school, and you likely are not the first person to struggle with whatever it is that you are struggling with. There is someone or something out there that can be of support and assistance to you, but nobody can help you if they don't know you need help. So girl, just ask for the help. That brings me to the next tip. If you're going to be asking for help, sis, you might want to be good to people so that they're actually willing to help you. I mean, you should be kind to people in general just because they are human beings. But As you'll quickly come to learn in the legal community, your character, your reputation, and your integrity, it matters. The legal community can be quite tight-knit. Whatever city, state, or area you're in, you'll start to see that every lawyer you know knows another lawyer that happens to know another lawyer that you know that also has a job opportunity. So you want to make sure that you are being kind and generous to the people around you, to your classmates, your professors, to the people that you meet, so that you are building connections that will eventually serve as opportunities for you to thrive. People will remember not what you did or said to them, but how you treated them. So be kind to people. Just be kind. That's all. Enjoy the experience. Yes, law school can be stressful at times, and it can feel like a really big deal in a not so great way. But think about the opportunity that you have. Only 3% of people in the United States have a doctoral degree. And when it comes to the legal field, Black women only make up 2% of that. You have the opportunity to enter those ranks. Relish in that. But put the elitism aside. You worked hard to get here. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Getting into law school is an accomplishment to be celebrated. Whether you want to be a practicing attorney, a politician, a policy writer, whatever you may have, you worked hard to place yourself in a position where you can actually fulfill your dreams. You deserve to look back on these next 3 to 4 years with a sense of joy, feeling like, wow, that was a great experience. And the only way you can do that is if you allow yourself to just enjoy it. Yes, there will be mistakes, there will be failures, but that's all a part of the human experience. Take them as lessons to be learned and keep moving. Dust yourself off, pat yourself on the back, remember the phenomenal woman that you are, and remember why you started this journey in the first place. Use that to push through and make it the best. Tip number 9. Go ahead on Amazon and get you a copy of A Short and Happy Guide to Being a Law Student by Professor Paula A. Francisi. Now, I had the wonderful opportunity of being one of Professor Francisi's students, and if you take the bar brief for your bar prep, then you likely will be able to experience her personality as well. The one thing that stands out is that the woman is filled with so much wisdom and insight, some of which she put into this lovely guide. So get you a copy. Now, one of my favorite parts of the book is that it's literally a guide. You don't have to read it chapter for chapter. You can just look for the particular issue you're dealing with in the index, go to that section, and within a page or two, because law students don't have all day, she gives you so much encouragement, so much advice that you really will walk away from the book feeling like you can conquer anything, not just law school. The book covers issues such as preparing for exams, preparing for interviews, dealing with stress, how to engage with professors. Anything that you can think of under the sun pertaining to law school and having a life, yeah, it's in that book. So go on and get you a copy and thank me later. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you found it to be helpful, be sure to like and share it with some of your law school friends. If there's some topic that you want to see, questions that you have, just comment below and your girl will deliver. And of course, subscribe so that you can be notified of our next video drop. Bye, y'all.